Today on Spiritual Awakening Radio, the Murar Declaration and the Spircon Conclave held in Agra, an interfaith gathering of various branches of Sant and Radhasoami. A time of reformation, an almost Vatican II of Sant will be covered during the first segment of the program. Then from there we'll be exploring the upside-down poetry of Soamiji Maharaj and various spiritual quotes in the remaining segments of the program about focusing on what's truly important, going within, exploring the other dimensions of the universe, the other heavenly realms or inner regions of consciousness. Welcome to Spiritual Awakening Radio. Up first, the Murar Declaration and Spircon Gathering held in the city of Agra, India. The Radhasoami Satsang Dayal Bagh in Agra had friendly relations with Huzur Baba Sawan Singh of the Radhasoami Satsang Beas back there in the 1930s, and they made an agreement. There was an agreement made between the Beas and Dayal Bagh Radhasoami Satsangs to cultivate and maintain positive relations between the two groups. And that agreement served as a model for Dayal Bagh's eventual expansion of that to include several other branches of Radhasoami as well, leading to the Murar Declaration. And that in turn led to the Spircon gathering held in Agra, providing a framework for a kind of greater fellowship of Sant and Radhasoami sects, almost a kind of Vatican II for Sant. A tree of Sant, the Murar Declaration, and the interfaith Spircon gathering, a historic event held in Agra. The following quote, which was included in the Murar Declaration, is by Huzur Maharaj Rai Salagram Bahadur, from his great spiritual classic Prem Patra Radhasoami, which when translated into English can read the love discourses about or pertaining to the Lord of the Soul. Huzur Maharaj: we are all pilgrims treading the same path and desirous of reaching the same destination ultimately. The Satsang movement has been started to spread the true faith and peace and tranquility in the world, and to draw people towards the holy feet of Huzur Radhasoami Dayal, the most revered, compassionate Lord of the Soul. This object can be best served by maintaining mutual affection and brotherly relations among the different centers of the Radhasoami faith, and working in cooperation to attain the common goal, as the object of worship of everyone is the same, the merciful Radhasoami. And the original home of everyone is the same, the abode of Radhasoami. And the real inspiration of everyone is the same, the Bani and discourses of the merciful Radhasoami. Obviously, then, all should have heartfelt love and affection for one another. Huzur Maharaj Prem Patra Radhasoami. It was considered desirable that the Radhasoami Satsang Sabha Dayal Bagh should issue a declaration emphasizing the need for maintaining brotherly and good relations amongst all centers, which would help in spreading the message of Huzur Radhasoami Dayal faster and more effectively, and bring about understanding of the faith. The joint statement issued by Param Guru Sahib Ji Maharaj, the fifth leader and founder of Dayal Bagh, and Baba Sawan Singh Ji Maharaj, the second revered leader of the Beas Satsang, when he visited in 1932, provided the guiding principle. The joint statement stated that because of the understanding reached about the commonality of fundamental beliefs held and the practices followed at the two centers, quote, Satsangis connected with the Radhasoami Satsang Dayal Bagh and the Beas Satsang will be able to maintain brotherly and affectionate relations with each other. Both the satsangs will make arrangement for their satsang independently, and every satsangi will have the right to join the satsang of his or her choice and follow the lead of the head of the spiritual satsang, whose guidance he likes. The satsangis would make effort to strengthen the relations of brotherly love. They should abstain from unnecessarily instilling their own ideas and feelings in the minds and hearts of other satsangis, unquote. The conclave, those who attended the Spircon gathering. In keeping with the concept of the Murar Declaration and its objective, it was considered desirable to enlarge the basis for cooperation among the different centers of the Radhasoami faith in light of the observations made by Param Guru Huzur Maharaj as cited in the note regarding the Murar Declaration, the earlier passage I read from Huzur Maharaj. Hence, immediately following the 2-day seminar on Religion of Saints, or Sant's Radhasoami faith, Spiritual Consciousness Studies, Spircon, which was held at the Dayal Educational Institute, and in which practitioners and scholars of Sant Mat from India and various parts of the world participated, it was decided to hold a conclave of leaders of different traditions or branches of the Radhasoami faith. In sending out invitations for participation for this conclave, 3 criteria were identified that they should: 1. Recognize Param Purush Purandani Soamiji Maharaj as avatar of Radhasoami Dayal; 2. Accept Radhasoami Nam as the true Nij Nam, and consider 3. The practice of Surit Shabd Yoga, inner light and sound meditation, under the guidance of a living master, a living Sant Sat Guru, as the way for attaining liberation. Accordingly, the letter of invitation was sent to the revered leaders of 7 centers, and also a draft of the proposed declaration on the lines of the one adopted by Dayal Bagh at Murar were sent for consideration. Revered Baba Kehar Singh Ji Maharaj of Tarn Tarn and the revered Kanwar Singh Sahib of the Dinod Satsang participated in the conclave. The revered leaders of Beas and Sawan Kirpal Rouhani Mission, Delhi, were going to be out of India on the dates set for the conclave. Revered Baba Gurinder Singh Ji Maharaj of Beas, promising to visit Dayal Bagh before the end of the celebrations, did come. He met revered Dr. Prem Saran Satsangi Sahib, and the 2 leaders signed a general statement reaffirming that, quote, in all humility, the 2 satsangs declare once again their adherence in true letter and spirit to the guidelines contained in the joint statement of Param Guru Sahib Ji Maharaj and Baba Sawan Singh Ji Maharaj, signed in 1932, unquote. Revered Babaji was welcomed by the president of the Radhasoami Satsang Sabha on behalf of the Satsangis of Dayal Bagh, of whom 7,000 to 8,000 were present, and Satsang held. Sawan Kirpal Rouhani Mission conveyed full support for the Murar Declaration. Revered Agam Prasad Mathur of People Mandi Hazuri Bhavan participated in the Spircon seminar as keynote speaker, chief guest of honor, and has indicated his support for the Murar Declaration. Mahantji of the Sant Tulsi Sahib Mandir of Hathras attended Spircon throughout. Representatives of the Dr. Hazra group of Agra were invited and attended Spircon. At the conclave held, a declaration was issued, signed by the leaders of Dayal Bagh Satsang, Dinod Satsang, and the Tarantaran Satsang. The following is the text of the declaration, which was signed by Dr. P.S. Satsangi Sahib, revered Baba Kehar Singh Sahib, and revered Kanwar Singh Ji. Radhasoami Dayal incarnated himself in the year 1818 in the form of Param Purush Paranidhani Swamiji Maharaj in this world for the redemption of souls. On Bachan Day in 1861, he declared open his satsang to the public in general, which was an event of unparalleled compassion. By his grace, satsang has been making steady progress ever since. The Nij Dar has continued to function in different human forms continuously. We have the assurance that the Nij Dar, the current, the presence of God essentially, will not return until it has completed the task of the redemption of all the souls, all the jivas in this creation. Number 2, in course of time, several centers of the Radhasoami satsang have been established. It is with the strength of the Nij Dar that the Sant Sat gurus of the different centers are maintaining the progress of their respective communities. 3, we are all pilgrims treading the same path and desirous of reaching the same destination ultimately. The satsang movement has been started to spread the true faith and peace and tranquility in the world and to draw people towards the holy feet of Hazur Radhasoami Dayal. This object can be best served by maintaining mutual affection and brotherly relations among different centers of the Radhasoami faith and working in cooperation to attain the common goal. As the object of worship of everyone is the same, the merciful Radhasoami, and the original home of everyone is the same, i.e., the abode of Radhasoami, and the real teachers of everyone, inspiration of everyone, are the same, the Bani and discourses of merciful Radhasoami. Obviously, then, all should have heartfelt love and affection for one another, unquote. 4, as satsang completes 150 years, it is the right time to take an initiative in this direction. We recognize all those belonging to the larger Radhasoami community who satisfy the following criteria. A. Recognize Param Purush Puran Dani Soamiji Maharaj as avatar of the Radhasoami Dayal, or merciful Lord of the Soul. B. Accept Radhasoami Nam as the true Nij Nam. And C. The practice of Surit Shabd Yoga under the guidance of a living master, Sant Sat Guru, as the way for attaining liberation of the soul. In order to strengthen the satsang movement for attainment of its goal, we make the following declaration. 1. That all satsang centers and satsangis affiliated to them would maintain and promote brotherly relations and affectionate behavior towards the followers of the Radhasoami faith attached to the different centers. 2. Each center will continue to make separate arrangement for satsang as it deems proper. It will be open to a satsangi to join any center according to his or her inclination and to follow the lead of the Sant Sat Guru whose guidance he or she desires. 3. Each center will be free to manage its properties according to its wishes, but access to the shrines under their management will be provided to the followers of the faith attached to the different centers. In other words, anyone can visit any of the centers. In other words, 4. No satsangi by any written word or utterance will make any statement of which may be derogatory to other satsangs, nor try to instill his or her desires or ideas and feelings in the minds of others. No sowing seeds of conflict, in other words. We enjoin upon satsangis attached to the various centers to follow this declaration in letter and spirit. That is the Murar declaration that was agreed upon at the Spircon Conclave, which was this amazing gathering. You have all of these different gurus of Sant Mat and Radhasoami attending, and others who didn't attend voicing their approval as well. And the guru from the Tulsi Sahib Satsang in Hathras was attending this event throughout as well. I should make a note here, though. There, as it pointed out, there is a certain criteria to this. For the benefit of some in the West, it should also be said that Surit Shabd Yoga in all of the above-mentioned communities is taught to students free of charge, at no cost. There is no charge, no money involved whatsoever, no membership in order to qualify for initiation, anything like that. in order to learn the practice. There are no membership fees or payments required for membership dues or monthly discourses. In order to qualify to learn the inner light and sound meditation practice known as Surat Shabd Yoga, one simply needs to be willing to learn from a living master, adhere to the vegetarian diet, and other basic ahimsa principles universally taught in all of the Sant Mat communities mentioned above, and other communities too, in the category of Sant Mat. This was the great event, which is somewhat of a Vatican II. Perhaps that's a bit of a stretch, but it was an attempt at reformation, an attempt at reconciliation, at peacemaking, brotherly relations, cultivating positive relations amongst the different branches of Sant Mat and the Radhasoami faith, coming to agree upon some universal principles which all follow and believe in. And I find that to be such a wonderful, positive thing. An earlier program I did is devoted also to the Murar Declaration and the Spircon gathering. It's an earlier program I did. It was an interview with Professor Mark Juergensmeyer, who is the author of the book Radhasoami Reality. And so in that earlier program, we discussed the Spircon event and those who attended, and delved into Sant Mat history as well, and digressed quite a bit. That's an earlier program that you can find in the archive, and is a delightful conversation with Professor Mark Juergensmeyer, who authored an amazing book about the Radhasoami tradition, a kind of big picture view of the history of this spiritual path, the various branches of it, different gurus, and how everything all fits together, the timeline, going back to Tulsi Sahib and Soamiji Maharaj, and the various centers, Beas, Agra, Sawan, Kirpal, Rouhani mission, and various groups that came out of those. And the book Radhasoami Reality also, of course, is a book of history that delves into the question about the origins of Sant Mat and goes back to discussions about Kabir, the text known as the Anurag Sagar of Kabir. The Dharm Das group, Professor David Lane and Mark Juergensmeyer visited all of these different centers of Sant Mat and the Sant tradition, and compiled this book, Radhasoami Reality. They visited the Hathras Tulsi Sahib Mandir or Ashram. They, of course, visited several centers which are located or based in Agra, and just interviewed all of these different groups and visited with different gurus, checked out the various historic sites, the Samad of Swamiji Maharaj at Swami Bagh in Agra, and just created this amazing textbook. It's not really a spiritual book about meditation practice, although there is one chapter on the meditation practice and the ascension of the soul and the basic techniques, written from the point of view of an outsider, but still, it's a very nice chapter. But for the most part, it is a book of history, which I actually find quite liberating. I find books like Radhasoami Reality to be very liberating, because you get to know all of the different groups and where they all fit in and the timeline. And you get access to knowledge about other books that you can get. And you can do your own research. You can do your own studies with that information. You can take notes, and you can buy some books and get a copy of the Anurag Sagar, of the Dharm Dasis, and all of these wonderful books. The Bachan Radhasoami poetry of Swamiji Maharaj. There's two translations of that in English, and of course more in Hindi. And so many wonderful books, the Prem Patra Radhasoami volumes of Huzur Maharaj, and Once you know about it, you can buy all of these books and do your own research or be inspired by all of this beautiful poetry and spiritual discourses by the various masters, and know something of the history of where this comes from, where this path of the masters comes from. And of course, the book Radhasoami Reality delves into the earlier history, going back to Darya Sahib of Bihar, the Dharam Dasis, and the earlier Sant tradition of India. My name is James Bean. The name of the program is Spiritual Awakening Radio. Coming up after the break, the delightful upside-down paradoxical poems of Soamiji Maharaj from his Bachan Radhasoami. We'll also delve into some other spiritual satsang discourses about the path of going within, focusing on what really matters and exploring the other realms within and beyond the physical universe. You're hearing Spiritual Awakening Radio. Stay tuned for much more coming up. Spiritual Awakening Radio continues today's Satsang edition of Spiritual Awakening Radio, focused on the path of the masters. My name is James Bean. During this segment, I want to delve into the delightful upside-down paradoxical poems of Soamiji Maharaj from his Bachan Radhasoami poetry verses. Earlier, I talked about the Spircon gathering in celebration of the opening of the doors of the Radhasoami Satsang to the general public by its founding guru, Soamiji Maharaj, in the year 1861. Soamiji Maharaj, also known as Sant Radhasoami Sahib, as well as Seth, Shiv, Dayal, Singh, composed several books, all of which are considered great spiritual classics of the Sant tradition of India. For instance, his Bachan Radhasoami poetry volumes are considered a literal Bible of Santmat. There is the Bachan Radhasoami prose, and there's a 2-volume set known as Bachan Radhasoami poetry, featuring some of the most out-of-this-world mystic poetry that's ever been published. Welcome to the delightful upside-down paradoxical poems of Soamiji. Upside-down language. Soamiji wrote a number of poems containing vivid but enigmatic symbolism in a style of poetry known since Kabir's time as upside-down language. To aid the readers in understanding these poems, the original editors of the Bachan poetry included a line-by-line interpretation of these verses. Here we go. Soamiji. Everything my master has taught me is upside down. He has taught me things that are totally paradoxical. Sleep and you build up your treasure. Stay alert and you lose your baggage. Commentary. If you sleep to the world, that is, withdraw from worldly involvements and devote yourself to God, you build up your treasure in heaven. If instead you stay alert in the world, that is, are preoccupied with worldly pursuits, you miss the priceless opportunity for God realization. Soamiji. Sit still and you reach your destination. Walk fast and you won't even make a start. Commentary. When the body and mind are still, the soul starts its homeward journey. When the body and mind are engaged in worldly pursuits, the soul is inert. Soamiji. The earth rises above the sky. The sky sinks into the netherworlds. Commentary. When mind and Maya or illusion associate with the ascending soul, they rise with it and reach their destination in the realm known as Trikuti. However, if the soul associates with mind and Maya or illusion, it goes down with them into the netherworlds because of their downward propensity. Soamiji, the bed is laid on the sleeping. The awake are deep in sleep. Commentary. One who sleeps or shows indifference to the spiritual aspect of life remains buried under Maya. One who remains awake to the needs of the spirit automatically sleeps or becomes indifferent to Maya, illusion. Soamiji. The barren are tired with bearing offspring. The fertile are barren of womb. Commentary. Maya, which is really barren, as it has no power to create on its own, becomes impregnated with soul energy and creates this world of color and form. The soul, which is the real creator and sustainer of things, no longer creates because it has now withdrawn itself into Brahmanand and the regions beyond, leaving Maya to shrink back to its infertile state. Soamiji, riding the camel, earth pierces the inner sky. Then on horseback it gallops at top speed. Commentary. In the initial stages, the withdrawal from the body or earth is uneven, rough, and painful. Whereas once the consciousness has pierced the sky of Trikuti, or the mystic sky of Gagan, the ride becomes smooth and swift, like galloping on a horse. Soamiji. Radhasoami has, through his gracious will, finally united the soul with the Shabad. That last verse is not paradoxical and didn't come accompanied with any commentary. But I will make my own commentary here and define the term Shabd or Shabad. Radhasoami has, through his gracious will, finally united the soul with Shabad. The term Surat Shabd Yoga can be defined in the following way. Surat, the attention faculty of the soul, what you focus your attention on. Shabd, the divine light and sound or positive power of God. Yoga, becoming united to or yoked to that power in meditation. Surat Shabd Yoga literally means becoming yoked to God or becoming one with God through the contemplation of his inner mystic light and by becoming absorbed with the divine sound, a theosis or divinization process by way of contemplating the light and becoming one with the sound of God, leading to union with the Supreme Being. Stay tuned for more Spiritual Awakening Radio coming up after this break. Spiritual Awakening Radio continues. This segment is called Focus on What Matters. Various quotes from saints and mystics. Kabir said, "The essence of life is in remembering God." In the Sikh scriptures of India, Guru Nanak once said, "It was for the sake of the God-conscious beings that our Supreme Lord began this play of death and birth." Amazing, isn't it? The whole universe is a filament of light in a greater darkness. That filament is made up of superstrings of galaxies. Each of those galaxies is made up of trillions of stars, and here we are, made of stars. The whole cosmos, this physical plane, you can think of as a nursery of souls, a place where souls come a few at a time, slowly over the eons, as the centuries come whizzing past, a few at a time, come to know themselves. Self-realization and God-realization. Our reason to be here. The reason for this cosmos, this filament of light in the darkness of galaxies. We are all pilgrims, treading the same path and desirous of reaching the same destination ultimately. Once again, Huzur Maharaj, Rai Salagram from Prem Patra, Radhasoami. I like this quote a lot. It's by Swami Vivekananda, telling it like it is. "Come up, O lions, and shake off the delusion that you are sheep. You are souls, immortal, spirits free, blessed, and eternal. You are not matter. You are not bodies. Matter is your servant. Not you, the servant of matter." One of my favorite books is the Sri Paramhans at Vaitmat Granth, the Big Blue Book, published by the Anandpur Satsang. Having been blessed with this human form, one must make proper use of their pradhan buddhi, or supreme intellect, by utilizing it for the attainment of self-realization, and thus make fruitful or productive this human birth. Maharishi Mehi Paramhans says, "The desire of an individual to be free from sufferings and to attain the happiness of absolute peace, or shanti, is naturally present in the hearts of all. The purpose of Sant, the teachings of the saints, the path of the masters, is to provide a system which fulfills the desires of attaining absolute peace. This is from Kirpal Singh's book known as Spiritual Elixir, a collection of letters to satsangis. Be regular and lovingly devoted to your holy meditations, as that is the central pivot around which the whole sacred teaching revolves, and therein an all-around development of the soul is granted. Master or Meister Eckhart, German mystic. Be ready at all times for the gifts of God, and always for new ones. I'm a fan of those Syriac saints of the East, including Saint Isaac of Nineveh. This is from Saint Isaac. Be at peace with your own soul, then heaven and earth will be at peace with you. Enter eagerly into the treasure house that is within you, and you will see the things that are in heaven. For there is but one single entry to them both, the ladder that leads to the kingdom is hidden within your soul. Dive into yourself, and in your soul you will discover the stairs by which to ascend, said Saint Isaac of Nineveh, sometimes also known as Saint Isaac the Syrian. I'm so into those Syriac saints that I devoted a section to the Syriac saints in the Christian mysticism and Gnosticism section of my e-library. Send me an email or text, and I'll send you a link to it, if you like. My address is james@spiritualawakeningradio.com, or you can text me at 508-603-9381. After the break, behold the universes within you. Stay tuned. During this segment of Spiritual Awakening Radio, there are other universes or realms within and beyond the physical universe. This is from Maharishi Mehi Paramhans. All know that there is a pind or pinda, physical plane, in Brahmanan, the greater universe or cosmos. But they do not know that there is Brahmanand within Pind, one who revolves in the devotion of the gross material realm doesn't feel the need of knowing the subtle. No learned man has known as yet the subtle form of the creation of this universe. It is known only to the yogi. A learned man asked me, "What is subtle?" I said, "What you call metaphysical," said Maharishi Mehi Paramhans. Within the material plane, within Pinda Desh, the physical universe, is a subtle dimension, another dimension, a spiritual dimension. And it can be accessed by way of meditation. To borrow a term from Doctor Who, it's bigger on the inside. Within this human body is where to look to find the kingdom of the heavens. Through the right method of meditation practice, one can access the heavens from within this body. Behold the universes within by learning the right method from an accomplished guide. One can't learn this kind of meditation from someone who doesn't practice it themselves or experience it themselves, but an accomplished guide who does experience this kingdom of the heavens within. They are the accomplished guide, the qualified teacher, the competent living master that will show us the way. Kabir Sahib said that a droplet is contained inside the ocean is common knowledge, but very rare are those who can behold the ocean or universes to be contained within the droplet or the body. Guru Nanak said, the drop is within the ocean and the ocean is within the drop. Who gets to know or experience this? He who has learnt the right skill. There Guru Nanak Dev is alluding to the right meditation practice that will allow us to access this divinity within. Goswami Tulsidas said, sleeping alertly without slipping into the state of ignorance or unawareness, yogis contemplate the various cosmos within their wombs, within the womb of meditation. As it says in the Jana Sankalini Tantra, all the features of the macrocosmos are there within the body. It says in the Yajur Veda, as in the body, so in the universe. As in the universe, so in the body. Once again from the Jana Sankalini Tantra, all knowledge is within. All deities live within. All holy places lie within, but can be seen only with the art that is revealed by the Master. Sant Tulsi Sahib of Hathras said, the cosmos is within the body. I have seen what lies even beyond these. In the teachings of Sant Tulsi Sahib of Hathras, one will find in his mystic poetry and hymns and discourses descriptions of other dimensions, other heavenly realms, and what goes on there. But they are accessed from within. One closes one's eyes and sees darkness. But there is light on the other side of that darkness. And by way of the third eye center, that divine light can be seen, and the veil of darkness pierced. And thus a kind of tunnel gradually opens up that we begin to explore. Some call it the kingdom of heaven or the kingdom of God within you, or inner space. And through meditation, one gradually goes through this tunnel, up this tunnel, and explores the various realms and visions of light and auditions of sound that are there to be contemplated. Shams of Tabriz, the spiritual master of Rumi, once said, the microcosm is hidden in the creation of man, and the macrocosm is the outer universe. But for the prophets, the outer universe is the microcosm, while the inner universe is the macrocosm. Baba Devi Sahib of Moradabad says, this spiritual path and its destination is divine love, and the remover of difficulties is the one spiritual teacher who has given you the secret knowledge, the spiritual guidance, and experience. We should understand that love is the life or soul of the entire universe. The pathway to the liberation of the soul already exists within each one of us. The waves or vibrations of sound permeate the whole of the body. It exists in the body in the form of vitality or life current. It exists in the mental sky in the form of light, while it exists as sound in the void. It is the highest duty of every individual to acquire experiential knowledge of this sound and to investigate or explore the origin or source from where this divine sound flows out. There are other universes or realms within and beyond the physical universe. Thanks for joining me today on Spiritual Awakening Radio. To get a link to the Sant Radhasoami e-library and all of its various sections dedicated to different categories of saints and mystics and Gnostics and Sufis, send me an email at this address, james@spiritualawakeningradio.com, james@spiritualawakeningradio.com. Or you can text me at this number, 508-603-9381. Visit my website, spiritualawakeningradio.com. At the website, there is a donate button. I'd like to thank all of those who have made use of that donate button over the years and keep this program on the air. Also at the website, there are links to social media for daily spiritual quotes, blogs and various articles, social media, and links to podcasts available for free on demand, spiritualawakeningradio.com. Tune in again next week at the same time for another edition of Spiritual Awakening Radio.